Okay, sick.
Yeah, I feel like there are people like just not being cool is the new.
No, you mean not trying?
Not trying, but you have to be aware of it. That's the thing. You have to be aware
Oh,
of it.
you're aware
Otherwise
of like
it
what
doesn't
something
work.
good is, and you're purposefully going to go against the grain.
I guess so. I mean, yeah, one of the coolest kind of people that I know actually lives around here. And I was going to the pub the other day. I was driving.
Yeah.
And I just saw him walking down the street, and he just looked like a dweeb from... He looked like what the nerds would have looked like in like a movie from the 90s.
And he's one of the coolest people you know.
Yeah.
And he purposefully kind of chose that aesthetic.
I guess so. And I'm not even talking like... It's even further than just the vintage tees that you'd get from these like, you know, what'd you call them? Like these like...
Thrift stores.
But not even... Yeah, I don't... It's not like a cool old school Harley Davidson shirt or something like that.
You have
Just
to
like the
go.
next
You have to
thing.
go more down that.
Further than that. Yeah,
Yes.
but I know that guy, and maybe it's because I know him. Maybe it's just something about the way these people carry themselves or something like that. But I'm like, this dude looks...
Like a cheese ball.
But he looks awesome.
Oh, he looks
Like-
sick doing it. Could you just wear like if you just wearing his school uniform, like from years and years ago? Because it's kind of like really going into that area of like, hey, here's something that's kind of old school. Here's something that like you shouldn't be wearing. Do you know what I mean? You just straight up
Maybe.
wear your school uniform, and then you just try to pick up like schoolgirls, and you talk to them. They just assume you're like in year 12, like with a big beard. And you just kind of like grew facial hair early, but in all honesty, you're in your late 20s. You don't have to let them know that.
Maybe that's
I'm
almost...
just having a conversation.
Because you watch back like Grease, and they were all like
Yeah.
30 years old. And they were all so cool.
Yeah.
Because they looked like they'd passed their peak, but they were still... Maybe
Still
that's the
acting
thing.
young.
Maybe that's... What if you went to like a pub or a club,
Yeah.
and there's just like this dude who's 50 years old, he's fallen apart, he hasn't taken care of himself his whole life, he's just got that beer gut, but
Yeah.
he's like wearing that polo shirt from like Rockdale Public School. Because that's
If
really
I
cool
saw
to begin with.
a polo shirt from Rockdale Public School, no matter how terrible you look, I can see how cool and funny and like how choice that is.
But-
You've chosen to wear like your public school polo shirt. That's hilarious. That's great. Do you know what I mean? I don't care that you're 50 years old. You've managed to keep your public school's polo shirt.
Could you somehow like... What about...
What if you just straight up like went to what's it called? Like the uniform shop, like to your public school and just got like a really large size, just bought it new. Like I went to what
That's actually kind of fresh.
it's really like
But
it's
then-
like a school uniform, like a public school uniform.
You know what might be so fresh about that is it's such an obvious thing that you can't be doing it unironically.
Yeah, especially primary school.
If you
Like,
saw that, you'd be
high
like,
school,
oh, okay,
it's a bit-
they've gone out of their way to go do that.
They've gone to their primary school and they've bought like their year 6 cool last year jersey.
What about like 2004 My Chemical Romance, Green Day, Fall Out Boy, doing like the short, what do you call it? Like a shirt.
Oh yes.
Not like a t-shirt, but like a shirt with short sleeves.
Yep,
and
short
then,
sleeve
like
t-shirt.
a tie.
Yes. That was a real look.
Imagine, like, I kind of just want to walk around Newtown like that. I've just got really skinny jeans on.
Just straight up bringing
I've
back
got
that look.
Converse. Just rocking that. But it's like too close in history, so people would have to look at that and be like, well, that's not a cool
You know
throwback.
what they're doing. Yeah. It's kind of like if anyone's wearing Crocs, you're kind of like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. Unless they're just a straight up autistic guy.
Yeah.
And that's the level. You kind of want to find that balance between being like autistic, legitimately autistic, and a hipster. Like a real hipster.
We've had this conversation before about hipsters. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think that's a hipster.
But again, in its
Oh, in its
purest
essence,
in its purest form, a hipster
Go
is
back
someone
and have exactly the
who's
same conversation.
so Michael Jackson looks like it's like Miranda Cross.
No.
No.
he doesn't.
R. Kelly. That's pretty crazy. What did he do to those girls? But yeah, in terms of like being a hipster, it's just about being on the edge and finding what's new and playing around, because hipsters would legitimately be having this conversation to be like, okay, what do I want to do? Do I need to get the year six? Do I need to get the year six jersey or something like that?
Sorry about that Freudian slip.
Sorry about that,
listeners.
fellas. We actually went back into our normal accents because we're actually both from Auckland.
I'm thinking, what do you have to do to get away with the school shirt thing? Like if you're wearing a polo shirt, like you go to a club and you're standing in line with everyone, but do you have to do the full fit?
It would be funnier, but you want to almost like go on that
you wanna
edge of
play it
like,
off.
this is cool. But you can't like straight up be wearing like the black polished school shoes and like white socks and school pants. Unless
But what
you're
about,
absolutely amazing.
What about one of these like coastal towns? You just got like like those like socks. They're not like regular socks,
Yeah.
you know, like just sports socks.
Yeah.
And then you're wearing like a pair of Vans and maybe just like some I don't know. I don't think you could rock the school shorts.
The school shorts are a hard one because it's like most people don't really wear shorts, can't really rock shorts. I think the average person kind of in Western civilization wears long pants because I think they're ashamed of their legs.
Yeah, I saw a friend's legs for the first time. I've known them for like maybe 5 years. I saw their legs.
Really?
Yeah. And
How'd they look? Terrible or no?
they're all right.
They're all right.
They're all right. I was just more like, where are your legs, bro? Like, get those legs out.
Get them out. I want to
Yeah.
see them.
Yeah, I do actually have quite a few friends that never show off their legs. They're holding out.
Huh?
They're holding out.
I know
on
they're
them.
holding out. Do you know what I mean? They're teasing us. They're like keeping up that mystery.
You couldn't do the. But then here's the thing: what could those pants be? You know what I mean? Like, would they have to be a pair of jeans? But then does that kind of like trump the school shirt, or do you have to do the full fit? Because here's my idea of it. Like, we had just like polo shirts, just
Yeah.
with 3 buttons,
3-button polo shirt.
and then like
with your
grey
crest.
pants, grey pants or grey shorts.
Yeah, some sort of like grey shorts. That
And-
would be funny, I think, if you did commit to the look. But again, like at the bottom, you're just wearing like some pretty decent sneakers or something like that.
And here's the thing: it almost eliminates you from getting singled out as being like dressing a certain way, because you're so far in this direction.
You're literally like in your 20s, and you're
If
dressing
someone
like,
came
yeah.
up and they're like,
Dude,
if they
year
were
6
like,
is
oh
over."
yeah, cool school shirt or something like that, and it's
Yeah.
like, you're a hack. That's what everyone would say if they came up to me right now. You know what I mean? It's almost like you can't do that.
Well, you're
'Cause
talking
I'm-
about school shirt.
I'm wearing a school shirt, right?
Yeah.
If anyone came up and they're like, oh yeah, cool school shirt,
Hmm.
but it's too far gone.
Yeah, you
That's
can't.
hack. Everyone. That's the obvious thing, you know.
It
That's
is.
what
It is. Yeah,
everyone is
everyone
thinking.
should think that.
That's what. And then if someone was like, "Hey, school shirt," and it's like, that's what.
And
Every single person-
It obviously says year 6, 2021
Yes.
on your shirt.
Yeah.
And you could either be a father, like we're literally at ages where we could be a father.
Yeah.
We could be parents. That could be our children's shirt.
Yeah. He's just going to school in my lycra lycra t-shirt with the nipples cut out.
Wait a second. Some guy's like, oh, sick shirt. You're like, wait, what? I wasn't even trying to be really cool and edgy and ironic.
My boy.
My boy.
My boy. What about, or even more down that line? Oh, here's an example. So there was that comic that was wearing a skirt at the open mic,
Yes.
and no one could like call them out, be like, oh, cool skirt, because it's so obvious they're wearing a skirt.
Yeah, what do you think you're wearing your sister's clothes, mate?
She's
He-
at home wearing his lycra t-shirt with the nipples cut out.
Even like it was funny, my grandpa was wearing like a pink shirt. I saw him and I was like, okay, good. I got to get a good one for him. This was like probably a week ago. And I was like, oh, you're 2 days late. And he's like, wait, for what? And I was like, Mardi Gras was on the weekend. And then he got me and he's like, I realized how much of a hack I am. He's like, you're too late. I was like up at the golf club and one of his friends were like, oh, you still got your Mardi Gras outfit on.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing. Like,
But
if
it's
you-
funny to almost make that hacky joke as well.
Well, I think even the pink shirt, you going in at the pink shirt's fine because that's just part of someone's wardrobe. Here's the thing: if I whip out, I got a shirt that says Night Stalker on it,
Yeah.
and there was that documentary about the Night Stalker
Oh,
that came out on
right.
Netflix. Everyone
Yeah.
watched it, and like if you saw me wearing that shirt, you could be like,
Oh, hey, yeah. Here he is.
Here's trouble.
Here's trouble. Yeah,
Because
the
the thing
Night
is, it's
Stalker.
already in my wardrobe, and it's just like a circumstantial thing.
Mm.
Your thing was like Mardi Gras was 2 days ago, or it could be like, I don't know. I'd think of something funny.
I also think like
You know what I'm saying, but like if you go for a school shirt that's so far out of your way, you can't accidentally put on a school shirt.
it's the person as well. Like if someone our age was wearing a pink shirt, like you even Big wears a pink shirt all the time. But he's so kind of trendy that you wouldn't even question it. It's like, oh no, he's obviously chosen that. But my grandfather, he's kind of like in an age where pink still means you're gay. Obviously by everyone at the golf club pointing it out.
Yes.
So you have to almost go with him because you know he's going to feel uncomfortable if I point that out, or he's going to get the joke. If I say, "Oh, Big Mardi Gras was like a
Yes.
few months ago," it'd probably be a bit different because he'd be like, "Wait, what do you mean?"
Oh, because of the pink shirt.
Yeah,
We used to give each other hell. Like if anyone changed their look in the slightest way in high school, it would be hell.
that's it. It's the age for it. You're really going after people's appearance. It's all about appearance. That's why like there's this idea of like the 13-year-old, 14-year-old having hair that completely covers their face and wearing a hood all the time because they can't get called out on anything.
Because they have to remain anonymous for when the day finally comes.
Yes. They're like, yeah, I don't even really know what his face looks like. But he killed 19 14-year-olds. Like, it's pretty...
It's kind of mysterious.
It's kind of mysterious.
How would you describe him? I don't know, kind of mysterious.
Kind of mysterious. It didn't really... But it is that age. It is that age where everyone's going at you. You go into school, you've got something wrong with you. You don't want to go to school because of it. Like if you got like a bunch of pimples, it's like, no, I'm not going in today. If you got a bad haircut, it's like, no, I'm feeling sick. I can't go into school today. I remember getting a bad haircut and being like, I want to take 2 weeks off. I need to take 2 weeks off for some reason. Because you're just going to be living in hell for probably 4 days. And they don't let up on it.
Yeah, and if you try and overcompensate by wearing like a hat or sunnies or something like that. I can't even remember. It was like there was a kid wearing sunglasses and a hat
Yeah.
one day, and it's kind of something you can go.
Stranger danger,
You can
stranger
go either
danger.
or. I never found you can't wear sunglasses in high school. Don't wear sunglasses in high school. If you're like going to lunch and you got to put them on for like half an hour increments and then take them back off and go into a classroom for like an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, he was in high school doing that.
Yeah, going out at lunch. But like this is a hat and sunglasses, dude.
Yeah.
And
That
it's
was
like-
his look.
That was his look, I guess. Yeah. It's a strange look
It's kind of cool at the same time.
because he was wearing a school shirt.
That's probably the only reason.
I'm kind of digging this. Like, what else could you pull off in that way that's like a school shirt? What else kind of fits that description?
In that area of where it's kind of so ironic, but like kind of cool, like where it does like the 360. I think there's so many different things. Like even though anything from the early 2000s. Like you just pick one.
But they're
piece
almost
of
too
clothing.
obvious. Oh, like a headband.
Oh, that's great. Oh, but people already do
That's-
that. It's already there. You have to be.
But
you have
I
to be
mean like
smart with
I
it.
mean like one with like a Nike swoosh on it.
Yeah.
Something like that. People are doing that.
that. Yeah.
What can you do? Do-rag? Do-rag is just like a
Everyone
very
has it.
very suburban looking white dude.
Everyone's just got do-rags. Everyone's kind of wearing a do-rag. Oh, maybe if you're not a POC wearing a do-rag, it could be a cool look. And you're kind of wearing it pretty ironically. Because that was like a pretty big thing like back in the early 2000s. Everyone wearing do-rags.
What about do-rag and school shirt? I can't think of any instance where a school shirt doesn't make it better.
I know, because it's just funnier.
Imagine, like as well, like you're just doing something really innocent, like wearing a school shirt, but then there's articles written about you because it's lost in translation. There's like a school shirter at that club.
Oh, yeah, they're just confused of like why there's a child at a club, or
They're like, oh, look at that school shirter. Everyone get down. Oh, look at that school shirter.
look at that school shooter.
Oh, that works. So you can't wear a school shirt in New Zealand because people will get
Shirter.
you confused.
What about school squirter?
school squirter?
School squirter.
Do you think anyone got freaky at your high school? Like
Oh, yeah.
literally at your high school?
Yeah. There was I was even thinking recently, like the school captain sent a picture of his bird to like a 13-year-old.
What? Is that why you got elected in? He sent a picture of his bird to a 13-year-old.
Yeah, it's like an 18-year-old man sent a nude photo to a 13-year-old girl, and the principal saw is like, sick.
That's a nice piece.
That's a nice piece. Let's get this boy. Let's get this boy in a position of power. I want him to spend more time with me.
How does that happen?
I know.
What was it? Why did he do that?
You don't even realize.
Was he trying to get freaky?
Yeah, I don't even, because it's not a good look to be like in year 12 sending photo or like dating a girl in year 7.
No, because she's just come out of.
Or is it cool? Sorry, I'm a rock star. Sorry, I listen to.
Motley Crue.
Yeah, I listen to Motley Crue. Is there a problem with that? I'm wearing my year 6 shirt. And I'm in year 12.
Crazy. What was his full name?
But he lost his position for it. And also there was a guy who I think
He lost his position because he sent his bird to a 13-year-old girl. He didn't get expelled or anything like that.
no. I think it was like the threat to like the police coming in, but
But is this a co-ed? This is
a co-ed school, yeah. And also I think a guy raped a girl in like a stairwell.
at school.
Yes.
You were kidding me.
No, and everyone like called him Stairwell.
I thought that's just because he had good eyes. He was just stairwell.
But yeah, straight up. And I was always like, a bit like to friends, I was like, oh, here's Stairwell. I'm like, oops, watch
There's
out.
something so hectic about making something that hectic trivial like that. Like,
I
oh,
know.
stairwell. Knock it
Stairwell.
off, guys.
I just raped her, that's all.
That's insane. What happened? Did he get demoted too? They just had like it was like the
whole
vice
leadership
captain.
team.
There was just scandal running throughout.
Actually, our female like captain beat a Vietnamese child to death. She lost her position. So yeah.
Oh my god.
So sorry, Sue, you
No,
gotta step down.
So you weren't friends with. You weren't cool enough to hang out with the with the rapey captaincy.
This was like when they just picked the new captains, so I think he would have been probably,
Oh,
I was in year 12, he was in the year below. He just got that position probably for like a few months or something, and it's like, oh, he's going to be the captain, and then bam, got busted sending nudes to a 13-year-old.
Did you hear more about this? Like, how did he get busted?
She went to teachers. She like asked for it or something like that. Or they were like chatting, and then he ended up sending his bird. And then she's like, oh, and I think she went to the school and was like, he sent me this. I don't know how I feel about
This
it.
sounds like almost like a.
It's not true.
No, what do you call it? Like,
Degrassi.
I feel like he got busted. Like, she was getting paid from the vice captain for that to
That's-
happen.
I know, that's the crazy thing. And this girl was kind of like, I think notoriously like more promiscuous. Was that kind of girl. It was very flirty. Kind of was known to kind of get around.
And then got sprung for sending
Yeah,
a
nude to her.
solicited picture.
Somewhat solicited. But they were kind of like being flirty back and forth. It's a bit creepy as like a 17-year-old to be like talking to a 13-year-old.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
She was
it's-
like in year 6
Yeah,
a year ago.
Yeah, she's in her prime. She could have been wearing, she literally like, he's wearing the year 6 t-shirt ironically. She's wearing it because she literally just came out of year 6. That's why they're
That's
like,
insane. Do you remember their names? Like, you don't say it on pod, but
oh yeah.
could we like look them up on
Oh,
socials and
100%.
see what
We're
they're
going
doing?
to look him up. We're looking at it right now. He
Could
was
we
like
look
in-
it up right now without saying the names?
Sick. Want to look him up? Let's see. It'll come up literally with a. Let's see. I think I'm friends with them. I'm not sure. But it's one of those things where Facebook's so particular. If you look anyone up now, they're going to get somewhat of a notification.
Can you imagine if him being 18, if he got put on the list?
Oh, here he is. Sick.
Oh, his name's name's K Dot.
K Dot, yes.
This guy looks like a nerd. What's he doing sending pics to 13?
He was a tall boy.
That's why he got elected, you reckon?
I think so. And that's probably why.
This
he had
guy
the
looks
confidence.
cool.
Who's that? Oh wow!
He
yeah,
literally-
that's
that's me.
that guy. That's like my brother's best friend. That guy's sick. He's the perfect. Oh, how'd you find him?
He was just right there.
Oh,
Sorry,
really?
can we go back to Oh, do you have the
He's
girl?
the perfect guy in this whole conversation about wearing things ironically. He really goes for that. Like I think he would wear like a. Let's see some of his style. If you just swipe through all his stuff, he's a fascinating character for like an art school kid who really pushes that line. Like sometimes he just like came up dressed like a cowboy. He would like dress just straight up homeless. He'd wear like a beret sometimes, but he can do that look really well.
I really want to. He does look like a very cool dude.
He's sick.
I really want to see like what this dude's about.
Who the
Yeah, the picture.
the picture taken
the
dude.
bird picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no information. I sent him a friend request, so hopefully.
Ah, good. Yeah. And I was like, dude, sick. I was just thinking about you.
Can you imagine if they saw the notification, like other people at your school saw the notification that you just added both of them? Everyone would be like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember
This guy should be in prison. You can't do that.
I know, it's so funny. Like, even the whole
Hilarious.
stairwell thing, I was like, oh, this is funny. Because again, I was technically 18. I didn't really know this about the severity of it. I was like, oh, he raped a girl like in the hallway. That's hilarious. And then same with like the school lead. Everyone was kind of laughing about it. He got laughed at by the whole school. He lost all his friends.
For the bird thing?
Yeah.
Or Stairwell?
No, bird dude.
Stairwell actually made friends.
He became like school captain. This is the type of leadership we want. This is the guy who takes what he wants. He takes what he wants. This is a leader.
Stairwell.
Yeah.
What about the bird? Do you remember the bird?
Bird dude, he lost all his friends.
No, the chick.
She just like went about her life.
But do you have a picture of her?
Oh, I don't know if I remember her name. Let's have a look. Then I like find her name perfectly. You like see what I've been messaging her. Oh man.
Sending a picture.
Because again, she was straight up in year like 7, so far removed from me.
Can you
Of course
imagine?
I wouldn't be friends
Do you
with her.
reckon like that picture would be like burnt into her memory? Like if she saw that exact same picture now. Like imagine like you were tuning on Tinder or something and just sent her that picture.
No, I can't. I don't even know what her last name. I think I know her first name. Oh man. Oh, here we go. This might be her. No, I don't. Again, so far removed.
Did you have Ask FM?
Oh yes, I remember Ask FM. That was wild.
Here's the crazy thing. You
That
can
was
still log
wild.
into it through your Facebook.
Really?
Yeah. I went on mine. It was pretty raucous.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff?
On mine?
Like Jackson, we know that you were sending photos of your bird to an underage girl. Jackson, I know what you did to me in that hallway.
There was one that was so funny. It was like name the top 15 hottest girls in your year.
Oh,
SAS included, which is like the other school in our area.
yeah.
So it's like whoever sent that is clearly from SAS, and they're casting a very wide berth to see if they can get it
Yeah.
within that 15 gap.
Yeah. That 15 gap, you talking about the girl that said Heyo.
The stairwell thing is still blowing my mind. To be honest, so you're walking down that like
I didn't see it happen. I think the police came. I think the police
The
legitimately
police just so happened to be there. Like, whoa!
I think he legitimately got like a solid warning, or he got a criminal record. Or he got a
solid
criminal.
warning.
It's like, "Mate, you better not do that again.
You better not do that again.
I think he got a criminal record afterwards.
He should.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
That's insanity.
Yeah. It was insane. Like, I think I was even, like, talking to people about it, like, a few years later. I was like, that was pretty wild what he did. Like, it was funny to us, but...
But even in what light was it funny? I can't even imagine. You're laughing at...
You're 18 years old.
But you're laughing at this dude's... What? You're going...
He lost everything and the police came.
That is kind of funny.
And he did it in a stairwell, like in a almost public stairwell where people walk up and down. Like,
But-
this is like a public stairwell. I think he did it in between classes. She was running late or whatever. Like, people could have come, like...
Do you remember their name?
No, I don't even really remember his name. He was in that same year, which is crazy, as the captain, the year below me. Because, again, that's why I didn't really have much of a connection. Because there's that year difference. And I wouldn't have even known the girl who...
I can't even see how that dude wouldn't have just got his head
Oh.
caved in.
I think everyone kind of assumed he was probably going to kill himself or he was, like, going to be really targeted.
Well, like, if you're doing that at that age...
Yeah, it's wild. He's a pretty powerful guy. Like, he was pretty big and powerful. And he looked old. Like, he kind of looked...
He was.
He's like 28.
It's like I was working at the club. I thought I'd try my luck here. He asked her on Ask FM, name your top 15 from, yeah.
But man, Ask FM, who'd you pick? Do you want to say their names publicly? Who was in your top 15? My girlfriend now. My girlfriend.
Oh, nothing.
Nothing. My girlfriend was in all 15.
I was just making a joke. I was going to say that dude's name, and then I was like, oh. I better not.
If he did listen to the podcast, he would know who he is. We're gonna put you out there.
What do you feel about like the possibility? Say he's listening to that, and like we're laughing at his misfortune almost, and he's like,
He would be like, okay, get your laughs in because it happened.
what happens? Do you fly right after that? You probably would just not make those risks anymore, huh?
I think something.
the risk is sending your bird to a 13-year-old girl.
But I think what happens is you really get shaken by it. And I think it affects you probably for the rest of your life in a weird way. It's not good because, again, you're spending the last year of your life basically completely ashamed whenever he showed his face, in particular him. I think the stairwell guy was more brutal, so he didn't even want to look at him. But this guy legitimately was the captain. So whenever he was out in public, everyone would stare. Basically just be shy from pointing at him. And he would have no friends, everything like that. The other dude we were kind of scared of. Because he'd be like, maybe we're next. Do you know what I mean? Like, what was like the most raucous thing that happened in your school?
In terms of...
Kind of on that level. Any big dramas?
Trying to even think. I don't know. I couldn't even... I wasn't very gossipy, so I probably never heard
Really?
that stuff. No.
I even know, like, when I was in year 7 at the boys' school, I think a guy, like, wore a balaclava, said, like, Allah Akbar, and, like, threw a whole bunch of water bombs into, like, a school assembly. That was pretty hilarious.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is insane.
He got so much respect from the whole school after that. All the year 12s or whatever were like, this kid is sick. This kid is hilarious. And I think a kid like ran at a teacher with scissors or something.
I remember there was a girl who was like around my age when
Yeah.
I was like in the younger years that would kind of be getting with the very older dudes, like the guys that had just about to finish school or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's so hectic because I
What
remember
year is she in?
7, 8.
And she's getting with year 12.
Yeah.
This is like the girl that got the photo sent to her. She was like that sort of girl.
this chick was like a Venus flytrap almost for these dudes. And it's so
Ooh.
hectic in hindsight because she could have, I mean, yeah, just that dynamic is kind of cooked. It's a cooked kind of system.
Yeah, because it's
But-
hard. Because it's like they must know it's kind of wrong, or it's such a temptation for like the older guys
Of
You're like,
course,
man.
because they're like got girls in their year that have to work
Yeah.
hard to like.
I know, you can't, there's no real like open options. There's no girl really like putting out.
And
You know
then
what I mean?
this person's just like, hey, yeah, I'm actually interested in this.
Yeah.
That's what I want to happen.
Yeah.
And everyone just
And I'm
finishes
also in my
school-
prime. I'm not like these old ladies in your year. Do you know what I mean?
not like these gross 16-year-olds. Yeah, that's crazy.
But that's pretty insane. That she ended up getting with a whole bunch of. I feel hilarious, like I'm talking like a teenager again. What she got with him,
Yeah.
someone getting with someone is such a hilarious term that you use as a teenager.
I use getting with all the time.
Really?
Yeah, they got together. Yeah.
Really? They
Yeah,
got
because
with-
it's so ambiguous as well. Like
They got
they,
with.
they did something.
But we're
I know
like
they
in our
did something.
we're like in our 20s. They should be getting married. That's the only thing they should be getting.
I'm such a narcissist. Like, I'm thinking back on all this, and I just have like sick victory stories.
Because you were like a winner. You were a
Nothing
cool
scandalous.
dude. You were a cool dude back in those days.
I don't know. The older I get, the more I just think I was like a dickhead. To be honest, not in like a self-loathing way or anything like that. I was just like, yeah, you weren't as nice as you thought you maybe were.
You're just a wild boy.
I was nice. It's definitely nice. Wasn't trying to hurt anyone.
Mm.
But even like, I was talking to a friend the other day who's like a very good friend, but I
Yeah.
know that I gave him a lot of shit,
Yeah, yeah.
and he gave it back,
Mm.
but it just wasn't as
You're into scat porn, into scat play.
yeah, just didn't hit the same, you know.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I could really like just do that, but it'd all be like under this lens of like just having a laugh or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But what he said when I was talking to him just the other day, I was like, man, I legitimately am remorseful about doing that, and I feel
Oh, wow.
bad about making like anything harder. But he understood it. He was like, you were trying to have a laugh, and he's very much the same kind of person.
I was
like,
trying to get my thing harder well, by doing it.
yeah.
Oh, I don't even know.
Let me Oh yeah, yeah.
So that dude, you just kind of like playing with each other. Isn't it all in like good fun and games, or it was a bit malicious? Like, because there is that line of like, this is still hilarious thinking back. And then you
Well,
can be like, oh, I was older.
Well, it
as
was
you're older
hilarious.
looking.
It's hilarious
oh, it's
now.
hilarious looking back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the line just is like, yeah, the line is blurred.
Line is blurred.
Between like doing something funny and doing something actually impactful for people. I would never think about the impact that it had on them. I guess that's
Jackson,
what I'm
she's 13. You're like, man, come on. Come on.
yeah. But I'll grill everyone. It was just funny. Made other people laugh. Made
Yeah.
me laugh. I could do it to one person, then they would not laugh. Everyone else would laugh. But then I'd like do it to someone else, and then they'd laugh.
Ah,
And
yeah.
I couldn't take the joke either.
Really?
Nah.
You're the one that if they started grilling back.
If they struck a nerve, they could get to me,
Really?
and I'd crumble. Yeah. But it would be like an evading situation. It happened very rarely. I would just get out of there.
Oh, you'd be able to kind of twist it around or quickly be firing back to the
Quickly,
point.
yeah, absolutely, yeah, yeah, 100%. But in terms of like actual raucousness like that, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean there are a couple. I just don't want to get in trouble.
Really?
Yeah. Not from me. I mean, I don't want to get in trouble from my friends if I tell this and they hear it.
Oh, we'll probably share some of those stories off pod. Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
we
I'm
won't.
trying to think. I'm just trying to think. I really don't know. I kind of just kept to myself, and just had.
I'm trying to think. I think there may have been some kids who like ran nude through the school,
That's pretty great.
streaking. That's pretty hilarious. I think that happened a few times. That's always hilarious. Like I wish that kind of was done more.
I almost wish, like at times like this, I could have. Anytime I meet up with any of these dudes that I used to hang
Yeah.
out with, like it's just, the stories are there. You almost remember all that
Oh, like you were just there.
kind of stuff. Yeah. Was shuffling a big thing at your school? Do you remember shuffling? One of my best mates had a shuffle off with a kid that was like in special ed, and it was insane. Like he kicked his ass, my friend's ass, and my friend
Oh,
was
really?
so cocky about it. Yeah.
I used to
And a
like,
special needs kid just absolutely showed him up.
how?
He was great at shuffling.
You know, I was really into shuffling as
Were you?
huge. Like
You
I've still got YouTube videos. Like
Of you?
yeah, I made like so many shuffling
can we
music
watch one?
videos. I'll see if I can find it. Oh,
I might actually. Oh, actually,
actually,
yeah,
did I
yeah. Do
shuffle?
you want to search it? I might hit pause on the pod real quick so I can gotta grab my charger.
oh, sick. By a life.
All right, we are back.
We're back. Sick.
We couldn't find the
I know, we
shuffling
couldn't
video.
find it.
What's sea walking? You were saying?
Sea walking's kind of like you know, like crip walking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, shuffling and sea walking. Like, I think I had like a channel I shared with a friend. We had like tens of videos on there. I think he's made it private.
I was
And
thinking you almost couldn't do the shuffling thing, ironically, because it's too
oh, you can't.
in your face almost. I think
Yeah.
you're taking up too much room. Like you're just standing next to a guy at a bar. He's wearing a school shirt. It's not invasive.
Yeah, if a guy's got like a sexy and I know it shirt and like big glasses on, it's a bit more difficult.
Yes.
I was looking into like Red Food. Like that's a fascinating. The whole LMFAO kind of craze was fascinating.
Yes.
Like he straight up used to be like a rapper, Red Foo as well.
Was he good?
Pretty decent.
Really?
Pretty decent, yeah. But that whole look, it is so funny. Like what? It's 10 years or 15 years have passed.
Yep.
And he's still kind of trying that look. He's still wearing the big oversized glasses. He's still got the big hair. He's still wearing like the tank tops, saying I'm sexy and I know it.
What's that? A very Californian kind of vibe, right?
I think so, but I find it fascinating. Like,
No, he would go off at a coke party. Imagine all these dudes just doing blow.
true.
There's just these
And
girls.
it's like,
Red
hey.
Foo, and he looks exactly like he did when you were 13,
Yeah.
getting solicited pics from
13-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say his name again. I
Gonna say
didn't.
he's-
It's just not funny enough. Like it doesn't warrant actually dropping it.
I know, because just be like, oh, that's his name.
Big Foo. All right, there you go.
Adam Grabsch. Riv Narak was actually his name. If anyone, knew that name. But it is that thing. Like, I do find it fascinating people who don't change their look. Like, even people like Lil Yachty, or just celebrities that kind of, or musical artists that don't change at all. They're still kind of wearing the same clothes. They're still doing the same thing that they were like 10 years ago. Talking about the same things. Just, I find it fascinating people that like stuck in somewhat of a time capsule. Like you can kind of see someone where their life peaked. Like if you see a 50 or 60-year-old dude who's still dressing like a punk, and he's still got the spikes in his hair, and it's like, it's just time to give it up at a certain point. Like you got to take the earrings out at some point. When the tattoos are no longer cool.
That's a tricky one.
That's a
I don't
real
know.
tricky one.
I almost don't know if you have to.
What about like 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine? Like it doesn't
Oh
look
my
cool. It's not going to look cool
God.
when he's like 50.
Yeah, he's cooked himself. Have you seen the documentary?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, right.
But he's setting himself up to kind of die. Because again, if he dies in the next year, he goes out like a hero. It's kind of like XXXTentacion. All those dudes, like if you've got such a outlandish look and you die, it's cool. You died cool. You died young. You never
Yes.
became washed. You never became a boomer.
Yes.
And that's like the scary thing.
What makes people survive in the limelight?
Switching up.
Who are these people even though?
Drizzy Drake. To an extent. To an
well,
extent.
he's what, 30 now?
He's 30 now. He changed up his look quite a bit. He went from like the young money sort of snapback craze to like the distinguished Jewish man with a 5 o'clock shadow to kind of like
The
the
big beard. And he's a bulky
road
dude now.
man.
Yeah.
British accent,
The whole
tracksuit look.
it's funny to think almost. I mean, yeah. What do you have? Like a
He had YOLO as well. He was like around the whole YOLO
Yeah.
craze. Like,
yeah. What happens? Does it kind of? I don't know. Do you get to the end of what? So what I'm thinking about is like you've got like someone like a what's his name? LMFAO.
Red Foo.
So Red Foo's got like that fashion and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then the merch is popping at that time, but then that dies. Can you just let that die off and then you've got your next thing with a whole new thing, or is
A
like,
whole new, yeah, because I
or do
know
you lose your
the,
tact completely at that point?
the other dude changed his whole style and he changed his name and he's releasing kind of more serious trap music or something like that. What about Get Head Foo? And he's,
Yeah. What does he do? What about Fed Foo?
Fed Foo, and he's like eating a lot and he just got really fat. What about like
What about Red Jew? And he's just like exactly the same, but he's of Jewish descent.
he's wearing a fake nose? What about
No, he's not.
going to bed?
He's not. He's not doing that.
What about going to bed with a 13-year-old Foo? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it is an interesting thing, that point. What you can do. Like, Red Foo's about to cross over into the path of being relevant again and cool again because he's maintained it.
Yeah.
It's like Travis McCoy. You remember Travis McCoy from, what were they called? Gym Class Heroes.
Yes.
If you look at his Instagram page, it still looks like he's in 2011, 2010.
some people
He's even got
just
filters
can't
on his photo. Like,
progress
it's,
in that way. What happens? Maybe it's these people that aren't. I mean, just spitballing here. Maybe they're
Yeah.
not like. They don't. Maybe like artistic integrity is the ability to establish something and then switch. Whereas these people get to a point and then there's nowhere to go from there. Like that's your whole thing. You have your sound
Yep.
and everything.
I think it represents people. Artists, again, are just people at the end of the day. And you do see in your group of friends and everyone in the world, you see the people who are still dressing the same as they did in 1980, in 2005. And it's like all these years have passed and they're still dressing the exact same. They've got the same fashion sense. And you see the dudes who looked like that like 10 years ago when they changed. And they changed again. There are people that constantly
Kanye.
change. Yeah.
Every album had a different
Yes.
sound and then a different look to go with it and everything like
Yes.
that. And now his stuff is kind of like fallen, broken apart. These weird. It's very. I mean, people say it's kind of trash now, but it's still
Yeah.
very telling of the time.
You're right, actually, because it's not the same. It's not like he's still going over soul beats or something like that.
If he. Yeah, that's.
Even Jay-Z kind of did somewhat. He's always reinventing himself. He's always got a new look. He's always got a kind of a new thing. But then you do get on something that isn't good.
Lil Wayne.
Oh, yeah. He's still stuck in like the 2010s. He's still got the long dreads. He's still got the face tattoos. Like, it doesn't really make sense. He's got to change it up.
Whoa, my God. These people like getting face tattoos and stuff like that are doing that whole vibe. And then when it switches, that's a brutal
That's
thing.
hard. Especially, like, there's a whole generation of it. Like, Lil Pump. Like, what does that mean anymore? Smoke Perp, all those dudes. Like, what does that doesn't exist anymore. And it's even sadder for the ones that kind of never really got on that wave to big heights. And they still have that look. And it's like, what do I do now? I'm doing the whole face tattoo look. I can make a few $1 million if I get face tats and dye my hair. And I'm still doing that, but apparently that's not what people want anymore.
Well, yeah, what are you about? Are you about being an artist of the time?
It's a way to make money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you
it
can almost sit on
legitimately
that.
was.
Invest it after
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's a good way to make money. Like Tekashi could probably just be set for life right now,
Oh, yeah.
moving around his finances in the right way. And
He did, but he was also playing with like fire a lot. It wasn't just the face tats and the look. He was doing crazy things that are probably going to have some serious consequences for the rest of his life, which is But there is someone kind of like a Lil Pump sort of character who did all the right things. But he was probably the first.
He's still going alright, probably.
He's fallen off.
I think it'd still be like a label darling though, you know, like the people that he's working, like his label would probably still love him. They'll be like, that's our guy.
I don't think so.
I think they would.
I think he's been shelved. And not talking about like put in his booty hole to take out of a store. He's been like shelved in terms of, they're not feeling that right now. Maybe soon. But I feel he's going to be shelved for like a few more years. He's going to go on Twitter when he's like 25 and being like, they haven't let me release music. Da.
Oh.
Because they're like, you're not really fitting. If you came out with an album right now, it's not going to do anything. We just got to wait.
You know who is doing well as an artist right now is Doja Cat.
Yeah,
She's like self-made, does her own beats and everything like that. And as far as I know, is pretty independent. More so someone that sells her records to the label rather than is. And then she's just doing very well.
Yes.
Grammy? Is that what they call it?
So.
Why does that sound so weird? Grammy.
Talking about it like a grandma.
Yeah, Grammy. Grammy nominations. Sounds like it's like an Australianization of a word.
What about like hammy nominations? You get like nominated for having like good hamstrings. I don't even. We're not all gold. The episodes aren't all gold, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but she's doing all right. She's doing
Doja
like
Cat's
very
doing
well in terms of, like I can't. She's one of those people I don't really think could just be shelved by a label and then would die. I think she's got her means, her ways. Like she understood. You remember that song like "Bitch, I'm a Cow"?
Yeah,
Bitch, I'm a cow. Like she did that song, the beat, the video, all herself, posted it, and it went viral.
Yeah.
And she, from like a video that I watched.
She's going to racist chat rooms. That's hilarious.
What's that?
Didn't you know that? There was a whole controversy about her going on like incel right-wing chat groups. That was like a year ago or something like that.
No,
I think there's something about
She's a
something to say
great
about someone.
artist, I
She's
think.
internet savvy. She understands. It's like Lil Nas X to an extent.
Oh.
Someone who understands the internet. But he's almost fallen off. He better
Shelved.
be. He has more control because he has like the opportunity to do things that are relevant to the zeitgeist and stuff like that. I think to be a solid artist nowadays, you have to be really in touch with the internet. Like, again, Soulja Boy kind of set those foundations and everything's kind of followed. It's more necessary now than ever
Yeah.
to be extremely social media savvy. Know what trends are. Be able to move and switch with what's going on. And
Yeah, you have to understand the technology and the culture in such a way that that's possible. I think there's so many people that...
like Red Food isn't really in
No,
touch with like what's going on. Travie McCoy isn't really like at the forefront of what's going on.
Yeah, and I think the thing is there are some people that write songs and are the perfect thing for that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For that week.
Yeah.
But then after that, like their value is used up. They're almost like...
Some people can have comebacks though. Like Jason Derulo. Huge comeback, jumping on the whole TikTok wave. And he's kind of like the face of TikTok and everything.
Blindsided by that too. Just all of a sudden he's just popping.
It's like, oh yeah, no, Jason Derulo, that's right. And you almost forget like what he was back in the day. It's more about what he's doing right now. Like he's doing these crazy TikTok videos with all these people.
Yes.
And it's like bam, bam. Like he's jumped on the wave.
Yeah, that's a crazy one.
There is an opportunity for artists to do that, I feel.
Well, he already... Oh, that's hard.
But then what about like... He literally was popping around the same time as Teo Cruz.
Who's gone?
Yeah. Like... doesn't exist anymore. Imagine going into a coma in like 2007. Your favorite artist, Teo Cruz. You've got those big glasses and you wake up and you're like, oh, man, I just want to listen to me some Teo Cruz. And what's changed?
I really think there's something about going to work.
What about Teo Cruz?
So you can have an
Music
artist
Day
like-
sex? Anyway, he's going to work.
You got like a Jason Derulo.
Yeah.
Maybe why he fell off and was just like he's not working.
Mm.
He's not like literally working on his thing. He's great at like what, singing and dancing.
Yes.
And
Great
then-
dancer, good looking.
So then you can just not go to work. You're like, I'm happy. I got enough money.
Mm.
I can just sit on this and whatever. But then the literal work comes in when it's like you have to like really be out there networking in the right ways and stuff, and you have to have those goals and everything.
Yeah.
Maybe there are these artists that's just they're too busy and they just don't worry about their goals, or they've reached their goals. It's like what all you ever wanted was that car and that house.
Yeah, they kind of got everything and they
It's
like
like, I don't need to
enjoyed
keep
it for
doing-
too much. They like enjoyed it for too long.
Yeah,
They
'cause
bought
I'm
all this stuff and it's like I'm having a ball now. It's like, oh, I still got to make music. So I'm having too much fun.
Well, yeah. Imagine like just if you're one of those people who could get caught up in the party
Yeah.
lifestyle, and I mean, you could do that forever almost. Like you could just sit on that money and do that forever.
To an extent, I feel like you could be someone like a Little Pump, hottest thing in the world, like 2017. Unless you just had no direction to go, like there was nothing you could really think of,
And that's what I'm
and you
talking
hit
about,
that
like-
actual wall.
That kind of artist integrity of being like, no, I am an artist in such a way, like I'm going to kind of like paint the soundscape for this time.
Yeah.
And then that time passes and kind of like it moves in waves, and then you can kind of do that again.
You have to take some time off and come back. You think, or
Maybe you have to. Maybe you have to do that.
Yeah.
Or otherwise it's like you could just burn out too quick. And then there is someone like a Drake
yeah,
who has just been doing it for so long in such a way. I mean, maybe it's just in our circle and whatever, but all the circles that we move in, but like I can't see anyone else that has come close to that.
I know for what a 10-year period, complete control,
Complete control of it. And
doing
just
everything right for 10 years. Like
putting other people on and stuff like that too.
Yeah. In probably a way bigger way than someone even like a Kanye West. Like, he's always at the forefront. He's always got something new going on. And it's hot, steaming hot. Consistent for 10 years. Probably, yeah, in big, big numbers.
Who are these artists that can do that forever? The Foo Fighters in rock music
Yeah.
have been relevant forever and at
Yeah.
an all-time level of relevancy.
Yeah.
In terms of that specific music, I mean, like, that genre has kind of declined, I guess. But,
But they're still like the kings of it. They're still...
yeah. And, like, the amount of respect, like, Dave Grohl especially has as a person.
Yeah.
And has kind of just... Even in really, like, creative ways, like... So they... What did they do? They had an album coming back, and they were... It was almost like they were at this height that they couldn't beat.
Yeah.
And then released this record that they recorded completely to tape, which is like an old school
yeah.
method of recording, like analog as opposed to digital. And it's notoriously hard for like bands to do that because there's so much, like you have to cut the actual tape and everything if you get a take wrong or something. So the
Yeah.
band has to be like really skilled and perfect for the songs to come together good and everything like that. So they did that and recorded a documentary around that. Released both those things, and it's kind of like just expanding the market. Well, not expanding the market, but expanding the possibility of product.
Yeah.
And then from there, did another record with a TV series alongside it.
Okay,
like a-
yeah.
So
Are they hot, steaming hot? They're like selling and... I
they're,
guess
se-
they technically are, aren't
they're
they?
selling massively. Yeah. But the
Yeah.
thing is, just that genre has kind of moved in a way and matured in a way. It might be the same as like a Jay-Z.
Or
So-
probably more like country music stars. Because I feel like rock's
Right.
very similar to country. It's
Yeah,
got its
probably.
own fans who love it.
Yeah.
That's all they really listen to.
Yeah.
But I guess it still technically can be like... you're going to see it hear it on the radio. You're going to see it like in public spaces. But it's not really driving the culture.
Can you?
the way that like a genre like hip hop is.
You've got like a Drizzy Drake, right? And now, I mean, I hear his music. I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's exactly what I'd expect and everything like that. To the point where it's just dull.
I think we're about to hip hop's about to turn into that.
Hip hop's about to
thing where
change. Everything's about to change. I
It's
swear.
just a genre, and people who like hip hop are kind of stuck in that area, or still kind of develop, but it's no longer the exciting thing that people are kind of. It's like shaping the culture anymore. It's like hip hop people are doing their thing, rock people are doing their thing, country music people are doing their thing, and then you've got pop music, and I feel like it's like right for the taking right now. To actually jump on the most popular, even if that is like a new genre, a whole new thing that's going to take over, shape the culture, shape what people wear, shape what the kids are into.
Imagine like what I'm trying to think. Like, what could Drake do? Like, what if he released an album where the music was kind of like, the music would have to change in a big way, and then some other kind of medium that goes along with it.
Or do people just not want to see him?
I don't think it's that. I think people love him.
I think people are sick.
I don't think so. I think it's the product.
You can't be at the top forever.
Give me exactly the same thing again and again and again. No, but you have like the Beatles. Like, they disbanded and like died, you know? Like, and then are still in everyone's mouth of that, like that they're so seminal in that way. Or Nirvana.
Yeah, that's more like legendary. Like that kind of was a quick thing, and the fire went out. That's kind of like the Sex Pistols.
But it wasn't even necessarily quick. Like, there was a 5-year period where they were popping.
Same with like punk. It was a great thing that happened. Drake's like a decade long of kind of ruling.
But then imagine like, no, because it's an artist. And at the end of the day, like, an artist can live, like, what
It's
about
a
like a
brand
Tarantino?
at the end of the day. Yeah.
Like, I mean, his height, level of expectancy and everything like that. Like, people want to see something good. That's all people want to see, is something like entertaining and good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he can keep delivering that in such a way, he's got to find the right way to do that.
Maybe Drake and Tarantino get the N-word out there by a questionable in a questionable way. It's like, is he really able to say that so many times? And is Tarantino really able to keep using the N-word so many times? That's probably what keeps people on the edge of their seat. But there is that.
If there's an artist that I love, and it's like, oh, now this person's doing Donald Glover.
Oh yeah,
That's a massive one.
Yeah. Huge.
And he's an artistic force.
The best. Probably one of the best examples of like
creative
creative 100%. Excellence.
What about like, and then you have like maybe a Tyler the Creator, who I don't think is.
He didn't do it as well. It came across as too.
I don't think he's
the same bubble.
It's that what's this thing called?
Donald Glover perfected it. Went from comedy, went from a TV show, really successful TV show, had a stand-up, became a rapper, had a really good rap album. Then he went more singing-wise. He like had acoustic kind of angle, and then he went to having his own TV show. Came back kind of with like the hottest song in the world.
And I think that's it. It's just like, if you know he's doing something, it's like, oh, I could definitely check that out, because I personally think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
And his music's pretty good.
He could come out with another stand-up special. If he's just been slowly working on stand-up, that would be great. Or even a podcast. That could be cool.
He could do any. He could do a late night show or something like that.
He could, yeah. And people would eat it up. And he's the kind of guy who would do it so well. So, because again, he navigates it perfectly. It never seems washed, like overdone in the way that Tyler Creator's stuff seems overdone or done before. Like, again, he's amazing and he's done so many things, but it got to the point where it's like, okay, I've kind of seen you do that before. This isn't that new. Whereas Donald Glover, everything he did was kind of different. And it had like he's doing that now. Almost like a James Franco. It's like, oh, he's doing this, or he's doing that. Oh yeah, and he had like because the internet, he had wrote a screenplay. that went along with the album.
Yeah.
And then like,
Exactly.
he was doing like short
Yes.
films.
Yes, 100%.
Like it's so like the artistic integrity and how many avenues he was able to go down was mind blowing. And then a legitimate like vocalist, like respected widely as a vocalist.
I think there was something like he's won like a Emmy, a Grammy, and another one. It's like this trifecta.
Yeah, that
the
whole
only,
thing.
The only other artist that's done that is Prince.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh. And where's Prince's like comedy? He's pretty like boring when it comes to being like creatively diverse.
Yeah.
Who could beat him? Who could beat Donald Glover in that way? And I feel like we've still got like years and years. I always get him confused with like Jordan Peele. Like I always think that he came up with Get Out in a weird way. That would have just been so good. Like if he did Get Out and got like an Academy Award for like best film or something.
I think the thing is he can sit there and just go, what do I literally want to do? And
Yeah.
what am I attracted to right now, and could do that and kind of do it really well. But the thing is, I don't even think he's like 100% at any of them. Like he's had a hit song in like Redbone,
He had a few hit songs.
and This Is America.
This Is America, Redbone. He had, like,
2005.
2005, Heartbreak.
But they're all off different records over different But my point
Yeah.
is, they've never been number one. They've never been like, this is the thing.
I think This Is America was like the #1 song like in the world.
But then there's, I mean, yeah,
And
I
video
agree.
and like on YouTube.
I agree about like, but it's not like a thing that's bigger than him.
I feel This Is America got bigger than him. And that's where he almost peaked.
But
And people started really realizing, wait a second, Donald Glover is actually a genius. Like and as soon as This Is America came out, there were all those memes. It's like Donald Glover's doing what Kanye West thinks he's doing, all that sort of stuff.
But even then, like, he had like Atlanta on at that time.
Yeah, and that's why it was so significant.
And that's the thing. I mean, like I haven't seen the show,
Oh yeah,
but like apparently it's great.
it's the
but
greatest thing ever.
But it's not on everyone's, like, on the tip of everyone's tongue. It's almost just like flies
cult classic.
under the radar in a way that's not like, this is everything. This is a lot of like, this is great, but it's not everything. I almost think you don't want that thing to be bigger than the artist himself.
Interesting.
Like,
It
you
never
have-
got like a commercial like appeal, but it got like a real solid cult following. I think anyone who's kind of into real like appreciates good television, good writing, good everything. It's almost like as high as it gets, like 100% Rotten Tomatoes, just like almost like a perfect TV series. Brilliant, smart. Just like very clever, well constructed. But again, it's not like Seinfeld or anything like that.
Maybe that's how these artists can live on, is just that possibility of something bigger.
Yeah.
And also the desire for, like, I strongly believe that people aren't, I mean, like, there's such, like, people talk about, like, this, like, this very negative culture of, like, you want to cancel people and everything like that. But, I mean, at the same time, people want to be entertained, and they do want people to root for.
Yeah.
They don't want to just knock everyone down. So maybe there's just something about wanting to, I don't know, these different formats and stuff like that. I mean, like, these New South Wales, they're like I don't know, I just take so much from them in Australia.
Yeah.
And they've got the podcast, they do music, so they're playing shows, selling merch, a TV series. There's just so much there, and it's almost like, yeah, these guys are creative powerhouses, and they can kind of keep entertaining me. I know if they do a thing, it's going to entertain me.
Yeah. They've got their whole thing going on.
Yeah,
I guess,
and
is it great though? That's kind of the difference.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I mean, like, some of their music is like
Close to being great.
close to being great, but it's a different thing. It's not like I just don't think they're working with those people and everything. Like, there's no major label attention or anything. Like that.
Yeah.
But even in that way, I mean,
Oh, but I guess even like in the actual substance, like I feel someone like Donald Glover, his albums and stuff were great. Like even if they weren't the biggest selling things, they were absolutely amazing. There are a lot of people out there that are doing great things that can still fly under the radar.
maybe that's the thing. You can't reach those heights, and then because it's like that. All you can do from there is plateau or decline. Like you can't. You do reach a peak.
Mm. You do reach a peak. Everyone has their peak. And again, some of us are peaked when we sent a photo of our junk to a 13-year-old. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes that may be your peak for the rest of your life. But
we're at an hour now.
we're at an hour.
Hour 5.
Hour 5. But yeah, just kind of on that idea of peaking. It's a fascinating topic of like when an artist can peak. LMFAO peaked with Party Rock, and they can never probably ever be bigger than that. Psy peaked with Gangnam Style. Is he gonna come up with something bigger than that?
Maybe it comes down to a goal. Like, are you a creative powerhouse and you're gonna keep creating these things?
Mm.
I
guess that's probably what a Prince was. Even like who else was in that train? David Bowie. They just kind of had something always going on. They always had another project. They always had something else they were doing. Lou Reed. There was always something going on every single year. And it's like, I don't even really care what people think. I'm going to keep doing. But then, again, they're people who really fell into one box at the same time. Like, they kept on doing music.
I think legacy and whatever can't be faked. You can fake views and everything and blow up in that way, but like respect from the culture of that time and everything like that. Like, looking at it, I mean, I'm not like, oh yeah, Donald Glover is the best producer of a TV show and writer. I don't think he's the best actor. I don't think he's the best musician or anything like that. But he's a great artist because of all those things.
And also, all those things were pretty, like, much up there. And I guess doing it as well. Like, doing this thing and at a high level.
Yes.
Kind of like different to like a 50 Cent. Like, there's one thing to like make a movie or have a TV show. Like, let's say 50 Cent with Get Rich or Die Trying or the TV show Power.
Yeah.
He did it, entertaining and everything like that, but they're not looked at as works of art. And same, like, let's say with 50 Cent's music, like Get Rich or Die Trying is a great album and everything like that, but it's not genius. Whereas, like, someone like Donald Glover, you could look at Atlanta and be like, oh, that's an amazing, artsy, smart, like, very intelligent, like, kind of like the top of, like, a television show. Very similar to Louis. Very similar kind of vibes. Like, very independent. He's doing exactly what he wants, and he's hit the bullseye. And then same with, like, some of his albums, like Because the Internet is like a perfect album that you can kind of keep on looking back at throughout time and be like, no, that was really, like, genius.
There's some you get respect by bailing or just being like, I resign from this too.
Like, yeah, that's true. I'm on to the next thing.
Well, yeah, anyway, maybe we should wrap it there. I want to grab a feed.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, I like these ones. I like talking about this. It's interesting. Not funny.
No, but it's absolutely necessary.
Yes.
And that's all you're going to get with the Sausage Boys. We like to switch it up. We're not just going to be one thing. We may have a movie. We may have an album for you. Do you know what I mean?
We might have a TV series.
You may have a TV series.
We might have a...
sex tape.
We might have a stairwell. Good night, everybody.